So hi students, again, and this video is in continuation to the previous video of loop. So here we're going to talk about the while loop. See, to understand the while loop, you're supposed to remember, if I take an example of a for loop, for example, if I say for I in range 1 comma 10 comma 2, okay, and if I'm trying to print the value of I will get this kind of answer, as you all know, because I'm quickly recalling. The first value of I will be 1, the last value of I will be 9 because it's less than 10, and after 1 I want to jump it with 2 steps, so I will get the next answer of I as 3. Then after 3 I will going to get the answer as 5, and so on. So if I'm trying to execute my program, I will going to see this answer, right? Now there is another way of doing the same program where I can use while loop. So just have a look. I am just trying to tell you that what if I want to write the same program using the while loop, and how you can just compare both the things. Just remember, take a counter, that is I, assign the initial value to the loop. So the starting value is 1. What is the ending value? Now how is this I related to the ending value, or how is 1 related to the ending value? That will be your condition. So my condition is I is less than 10. Alright, and enter. Now what am I supposed to do? I am supposed to print the value of I. So print the value of I. Just print it. Once you're printing it, after printing, you want to jump it by 2. So you have to increment the value of I by 2. So I will become I plus 2. That's what you're supposed to remember. So the same program can be written using the while loop in this particular method, and if I'm trying to execute my program, just see, I will get exactly the same answer but in a different way. Now why do I use a while loop? Why not I am just comfortable with for? See, as I told you in the beginning section only, just remember that your while loop is used when you are not restricting yourself to the number of iterations, because sometimes you don't know how many times you need to execute your program. Therefore you can use a while loop. I'll give you an example also for this, but I just want to tell you a few couple of things. I told you in the beginning that for loop can never come into an endless kind of situation. Say for example, I'm starting with I'm ending it with 10, I forget to increment it, okay, or if I forget to increment, now what will going to happen? Then comes a situation where I will end up into an endless loop, and this will keep on continuing. You can see it yourself. So with for you can never come into this kind of situation, but with while you can. Of course it will going to stop after some time, but I give you another example. So suppose I have I is equal to 1, print I is this. Now I, by mistake, I don't write I is equal to I plus 1. I say I is equal to I minus 1. What will going to happen in that case? Because it's getting reduced every time by 1. So can you see, I'm having different numbers and it is keep on going and continuing to the endless loop. So you're supposed to remember that whenever we use a for loop, we can never have a situation coming into an endless loop, but with while there could always be a possibility. But then why should I use while? While can be used so that when you don't know the number of times the loop should get executed. I'll give you an example. You can always say while true to start the execution of any program. Suppose I would like to check whether a number is an even number or not, and I want to continue till the user wants. So I can just say while true, let me take a number, a is equal to int, and then I say input, and then I say enter a number. Once you write a number, and then you're checking whether it is an even number or an odd number. So if a mod 2 is equal to 0. Now children, you must be wondering why I always keep on taking the example of even and odd, because I feel that the examples can be done by you. I'm showing you the examples from time to time. What is right now important is the concept. The concept has to be clear, the syntax has to be clear. Okay, so if it is a mod 2 is equal to 0, you would like to print that it's an even number, else you're printing it's an odd number. So you're just simply saying it's an odd number. Now this part has been done. What if I want to keep on continuing? Because now if I try to execute this program, it will again become an endless loop. Not to make it an endless loop, I can ask the user and I can say input, do you want to continue? So do you want to continue? So the user will going to say yes or no, obviously. Okay, so you will say that if the choice is equal to n, capital N, or the choice is equal to small n, then what am I supposed to do? I am supposed to exit. So what will I say? I will just simply say break. And this is a case where I can use while, where when I'm not sure how many times my loop should get executed. I'll show you the execution of this program, children. So enter a number is 5. It is an odd number. Do you want to continue? I'll say yes. Enter a number 8. Yes, it's an even. Do you want to continue? I'll say yes. I'll say 90. Do you want to continue? No. Now I'll enter n and I'm out of the program. So here it wasn't sure that the user who is trying to execute the program wanted to execute it 2 times or 3 times or a number of times. So therefore, this is again a situation where you can use a while loop. So if we just quickly revise the while loop, the syntax is while the given condition is true, the statements that you're writing inside it will keep on getting executed, but you must specify the expression or the condition to stop, otherwise it will land up into a situation where the loop will be an infinite loop. Let's take an example to print the first n numbers. So take the number, as I said, starting number. How do you want n numbers? Because in n numbers you want to include n. Print and keep on incrementing it by 1. So you will going to get the answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take another case. What will going to happen if you don't increment it by 1? I have just shown you that it will going to get into an infinite loop. Just remember that. Let's take another example. Find out whether a number n is a prime number or not, and the program should continue till n is neither 0 nor 1. Okay, so you can see I've used while true in this case. So take a number, just check if it is 0 or 1. If the number is either 0 or the number is either 1, you are coming out of the while loop. But what if it is neither 0 nor 1? Then you are checking, you're giving a logic of a prime number. And what is a prime number? A number is said to be a prime number if it is neither divisible by 1 nor divisible by the half of that number. Therefore, if you see, I've written n floor division 2 plus 1. If even once this condition becomes true, the loop is broken. If the loop is broken, you remember we did else with with for, so this will not be executed. Similarly, if the loop is not broken, that means the number is a prime number and else will be executed. So here is a case where we can always show when the number is prime or not, and the program will keep on getting executed. Now, the same question comes whether the way we have used else with for, can we use while and else or not? The answer is yes. We can use else with while loop also. And remember, else will again be getting executed till all the iterations of the while loop are completed. So children, remember, if there is no break, it will going to definitely execute the else part. So you will going to see all the answers. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and the program over. But remember, if even once it is broken, then this part is not executed. So else part after the loop is always executed since all the iterations were completed. But in the second situation, because there was the break statement which got encountered, which forced it to come out of the while loop, therefore the else part was not executed and we got the answer 24. So just remember that the else part after the loop will not be executed since the loop was stopped in between and the iterations were not completed. So I hope you understood the concept of for else and while else. Please do watch these videos on loops together, one after the other in the consecutive order, so that the concept becomes completely clear to all of you. And do go through these questions, because in most of the CBSE type questions you're also given a case where you're given a for loop and you will be asked to convert into while and vice versa. So if you've understood, children, please do like, share and subscribe. And if you have any questions, never ever hesitate to write the query. I will definitely going to answer the query. Have a lovely day, children.